Galveston, and then my brain's not working very well today. Geithner. If you're perhaps looking at just the courthouse in itself, that might be the way that we wanted to go. But if you were looking at the courthouse and maybe what we were going to do in the future as well, then we went in maybe a little more toward the gentleman that's here today, Lindsay. Is that a fair statement?
Now, we've talked a lot about tests, brick and soil and so forth, so on. Now, can we? Is that a step we're going to have to take before we can actually? I mean, we're going to have to give that to someone before we can actually determine with the stabilization of the courthouse. Is that one step that we've got to take before that?
Yes, to determine what the,
And
absolutely what has to be done. Yes, so both architects said that.
And I'm not on the committee, but I spoke with the gentleman after the last meeting, and I stated to him that it's my feeling that we need to look at stabilizing the courthouse and not remodeling it. And he agreed, he concurred with that to me, and it's what the board thinks. So, are we prepared today to vote on that first step?
Well, other than as you're well aware, Judge, other than our group that met, from the standpoint of my being able to talk to Commissioner Gamez or to Commissioner Morales about this is illegal, so we really haven't had any conversation, so I don't know.
Well, as the board, are y'all prepared to make a motion today to see where we go with that step of it, with what he submitted, or what are we going to do today?
Well, I think the intent today was to make a determination as to which of the two architectural firms we felt best met our needs. The testing that was discussed was essentially the same both ways. It's not like that Lindsay wanted to take one approach and Mr. Geithner wanted to take another approach.
As I remember from the last meeting, it appeared to me that Mr. Geithner's firm was wanting to look at restoration of the courthouse along that ideal as far as the historical commission applying for a grant and so forth, so on. And this was more in line with stabilization. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. From the standpoint of the committee, we had to be careful because, as you know, we were tasked to find architects. As we got into the process, the first key for us, and I think for everyone, is to make certain that the courthouse does not deteriorate any further, and that we stabilize it. And we recognize that that's probably the route we're going to have to take as opposed to a full remodel. Mr. Thorne was interested in that. He seemed to have more ideas as far as things that we could do, sort of thinking out of the box from the standpoint of looking at the courthouse. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think what we're doing today, just so everybody's clear, this is just architects that go in there, research where the foundation problem is, come back with recommendations on how we can shore up the courthouse to keep it from falling down. And that's all we're doing today.
And I did check one of his references, and I'm afraid.
And I'm sure I know which one that is.
He said as far as our architect, he's okay.
A lot more you can say for an attorney. Now, the test that we run, my understanding is that when we're looking at stabilization, we're gonna learn at that point a whole lot about what it is that we're going to need to go forward with the courthouse. It should give us all sorts of alternatives.
And I think that's probably the last pot of money we'll spend until we determine what is actually we're going to do. And that's what we're kind of tired of that and have to do that. So will you make a motion as to who you wish to?
Well, from my standpoint, I like what Mr. Thorne has done. I like what it is that he did in Guadalupe County. Mr. Geithner has come to several meetings. He seems to be a really good architect as well. I like the location of San Antonio as opposed to Galveston from the standpoint of needs. And I think that, as me individually, that's probably my recommendation. The board never came to, our committee never came to a point where we made a final determination, so I'm speaking for myself.
Any member of the board wish to make a comment at this time as to what they feel like?
I concur with Commissioner Wiley. Those are the thoughts of the board.
Commissioner Wise, would you put that on the motion?
Yes, sir. I make a motion that Mr. Thorne's firm be the one that we procure